Hey, what is up everyone? Forever Lazy here, back again with another video. And guys, welcome back to episode 6 of Forever Answering Your Questions. If you're new to this series, basically is a weekly Q&A series I've been doing on the channel, basically where I try my best to answer all your guys' questions relating to Star Wars, Lego Star Wars, or mock questions, and I try my best to, in each episode, to get as many as I possibly can. So, with that all out, let's get on today's first question. First question coming today is from Bly Productions. He asks, what YouTuber inspired you to build mocs? So there's quite a few talented builders on YouTube, and this is kind of where I guess grew up, and it's inspired me to actually build my own stuff. I know this is kind of an overused thing, but David Hall is probably my '1 guy who kind of inspired me into getting into actual building stuff. Chris Productions is also up there. He and his old clone bases and Clone Wars era mocs really inspired me. So those two guys are probably the #1s people who kind of just got me inspired to build with Lego. Probably most recently, Jay has been a huge inspiration because of the fact that before that I kind of didn't do anything large, or I guess a build series or anything like that. And so I'd say probably David, Chris, and Jay are probably my #3 people who kind of inspired me into doing large-scale builds like Hoth and then now Camino. So hopefully that answers your question. Next question comes from RM Fortis. He asked, if Disney were to make another movie about a specific character story like Solo, what character would you want them to film to be about? So for that, I know some people didn't really care for the storyline of Solo or the idea of a Solo film. Honestly, I actually quite liked it. I know a lot of people disliked it, and a few people liked it. I was actually one of the people who really enjoyed the film. I kid you not, throughout most of the film, I had a smile on my face because I was like, oh my goodness, this is such a good film. I actually really enjoyed it, and I hope they kind of continue this with maybe different characters. I know some of you may have different takes on this factor, but I would love to see Obi-Wan film. I know that's kind of the #1 film that people want, but honestly, I would love to get a Obi-Wan Kenobi film, kind of showing him on maybe Tatooine fighting Tuskens or stuff like that, going through that storyline between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, kind of giving that storyline, because one of my favorite books is the Kenobi book. I've read it multiple times, I've listened to it multiple times. It's just a fantastic story, and this thing about it is it's Legends, so it isn't canon towards the actual films. So I really would love to see something along those lines, kind of giving Obi-Wan some backgrounds, why he was called a crazy hermit in the desert by himself and stuff like that. I would love to see something going on, as well as I would love to see Ewan McGregor reprise his role and kind of just like I mentioned, fight the desert with Tuskens and all the other creatures and stuff like that. I think that'd be really awesome to see, and I hope it does eventually happen. I really hope a Kenobi film comes down the road. So hopefully that answers your question. Next one comes from Reba Bricks. He asks, great video, Hunter. My question would be, do you have any custom models you want to build in the future, like stuff by Jarek, Inter, Brickful, etc.? Yes, actually, I have a rough list of what I'm wanting to build in the near future, which is custom models, which is not an actual set. You basically get the instructions and you get all the parts to build it. And recently, so far under my belt, I have Jay's AT-AT, I have I had Inter's X-Wing. It's kind of in shambles at the moment. I have Jarek's Advanced TIE, which I just built. I have can't remember his name, but I bought the instructions for the Arkham Knight Batmobile. And then just the other day, actually yesterday pretty much, I built the Republic gunship, and so I've got a few custom models already on my belt, but I would love to finish the TIE collection from Jarek. That is something I want to do by the end of this year. I also have been talking to Jay because I really want to get the transporter instructions that he just released for the First Order. I really would love to build that at some point, as well as I would love to get Inther's U-Wing instructions. Those are for me, I really love the U-Wing in Rogue One, and Inter did a fantastic job on that, so I would love to get the instructions for that. And just a few other things that I like, a few other custom models from Star Wars I would love to build. But yeah, at the top of the list is probably going to be Inter's X-Wing, Inter's U-Wing, the rest of Jarek's TIE collection, and then, like I mentioned, Jay's custom First Order transporter. Those are on my list. I probably won't have everything built by the end of the year, just because of the fact that I've got Camino starting and I've got other things building, because in my mind is I'm still wanting to build another Republic gunship, but it just depends on what I'm doing for the rest of the year. But those, I guess, are what I'm wanting to build next. Okay, so, and the final question comes from W Customs. He asks, would you ever consider a World War II mock or anything army related? So I've actually thought about this. I've spoken to Anthony about this because like he does some really cool army builds, and I think it'd be really cool. Like I was also talking to my friend Aiden, not Adorer, but the friend Aiden that I'm going to visit next week, and he and I are planning on doing something in Lego, kind of like what we did last year with that small little Solace mock. We're kind of planning it out this year because of the fact that I have some parts that I don't really need for Camino, so I'm thinking about like taking a bunch of parts and bringing it there, and so we're kind of trying to planning out something. I guess the original idea was to build something for Call of Duty, which is kind of warlike things because you use guns and it's got like these army characters. So that was the original idea. We're still working on it, but maybe down the road. I don't have anything planned at the moment because of the fact that I've got this mock, I've got ideas for future mocks. Maybe down the road I can build something really small, and I don't know, maybe it's a future project I would love to do, but I do really like World War II mocks. I think they're really cool, especially seeing them in conventions. So this is the for real last question. We have one from LWS Productions. He has, also I have a couple questions. One, if you could have only one figure and you could have 1,000 of them, which would it be? Second, if Mr. Beast gave you a Lego mansion, would you live in it? Everything is made out of Lego. So for your first question, if I had to choose like one specific figure, and I'd have to have 1,000 of that one, I'd have to choose between 3 figures, and the reason why I say this is because of the fact that it was it'd pretty much be an army building thing, because of the fact that I'm not going to have like 1,000 versions of Luke Skywalker, stuff like that. So it's probably going to be an army builder. The 3 that come into my mind is probably, the first one is probably the most recent Phase 1 Clone Trooper, which I have a decent amount. I don't have too many, but I've been collecting up for Camino, so probably 1,000 of those guys. Then for second one, I'd probably get 1,000 of the Phase 2, the most recent Phase 2 white Clone Troopers, so the plain Phase 2 armor. So I'd probably get 1,000 of those because they are pretty expensive. And it'd be really cool, like I could literally do almost anything from Phase 2 from the Clone Wars or anything like that, or from Episode 3, because of the fact that I'd have plenty of those troopers to spare. And then finally, I guess for my last choice, and again, like these are like the top 3 I would choose. Nothing like, oh, I'm getting all 3. No, it's just kind of like my top 3. I'd probably take 1,000 of. Or for my last one, I'd probably take 1,000 of these new guys. These are the new version of the Stormtrooper. I've got a small army of these guys now. I have a couple that I need to actually put together because I recently got a few of those sets from Walmart. Plus, I actually really like them. It's at first when they released the pictures of the new guys, I was kind of like 50-50. I was like, because I already had like a ton of the previous ones from the Rogue One wave and stuff on, and so far from that. So I was like, okay, do I really want to get some new Stormtroopers? And I didn't know what I thought about the new helmet design. But after taking a while and getting, you know, these guys on in person, like these guys are actually really cool, and I would love to get like, if I'm getting 1,000 of them, I could definitely do anything from Imperial related things, like from Jakku, Endor, Tatooine, anything basically relating to any Imperial things that involve those Stormtroopers. So that'd be pretty cool. Again, those would be my top 3. And for his, I guess, part 2 to his question, if Mr. Beast gave you a Lego mansion, would you live in it? I don't know, because that's like, I don't think I would. And the reason why is I like my home. Like, if it was a completely home built out of complete Lego bricks, it'd be fine and all that, but I don't want to hear like, whenever I'm stepping around, I hear bricks kind of just like cracking or anything like that. I don't want to sleep on a bed that's made out of Lego, and so on and so forth. So probably not. It'd definitely be really cool to see, and I think that'd be really fun to see in person and stuff like that. But I probably wouldn't want to live in that just because of the fact that I prefer a regular house than one made out of Lego. But yeah, that was the final question for this week. Hope you all enjoyed. Now, I do want to point out real quick that be excited for this Sunday, and I'm not like saying this for no reason, because of the fact that I really want you guys to get excited for Sunday, because of the fact that Sunday the 27th of July is the release date of the premiere of Battle of Camino. So around roughly 2 p.m. Central Time, I'll be releasing my part of my episode 1 of the collab on Battle of Camino. Around that same time, Aiden's going to be releasing his episode as well, and it's going to be a Sunday around, like I mentioned, around 2 p.m. Central Time. We'll be releasing our premieres to this new mock. So I'm really excited. Like, I've been really excited. I've been waiting for Aiden to get back so he and I can chat about these things, get a few designs. So we're pretty much ready. I have the blueprints written out. I've got most of the base plates. I've got a lot of stuff already ready to go. I've also purchased a ton more water studs, or the trans blue studs, and I'm ready to go. Aiden's ready to go. We're both excited to start the series, so I hope you guys are too. I can't wait for Sunday. I'm probably going to be recording the premiere tomorrow and having it go up Sunday. I also want to mention something real quick. I know I mentioned that I'm going to be doing a room tour or studio tour, whichever one you want to call it. I'm actually going to be probably recording that later tonight, because of the fact that everything's pretty much clean, except like minus picking up a couple figures and a few parts left over from the Republic gunship. So that I'm gonna do my best to get that recorded tonight, and I'm debating on releasing it either this upcoming Monday or Tuesday. And then next week I'm also gonna have the Republic gunship review. So stay tuned. We have some awesome content coming down the road. And real quick, again, if you enjoyed today's episode and you have any questions relating to Lego Star Wars, or mock questions, leave them down in the comment section below, and I will do my best to get to them next week's episode of Forever Answering Your Questions. If you enjoyed, smash the like button. If you're new to this channel, definitely subscribe. Like I mentioned, we have some really awesome content coming down the road, including that awesome building series. I'm super excited for that. And I think that's going to be it. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.